Philadelphia. Let's go on. We have a very special guest. We have undefeated lightweight Hector Tanajara Jr., who next Friday night takes on fellow undefeated William Zepeda live on the DAZN in Los Angeles. Hector, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. We're 7 days out. I'd say this time next Friday night, you'll be in the locker room. You're getting ready, starting to warm up for your fight with William Zepeda. Talk about this fight. We're a week away.
No, like you said, just ready for this fight, ready to get back in the ring. I've had a long layoff and ready to show, who I am in this weight class. I'm fighting a tough guy in William Zepeda, who's 22-0, 20 knockouts. So, I'm just ready to show all the hard work that I put in this training camp and ready to fight already.
You mentioned him. He's 22-0 with 20 knockouts. Obviously, looks like, just by looking at things on paper, he brings some power to the table. Is that the way you're scouting him? Is strictly a come forward power puncher?
Oh, yeah, that's the way I'm scouting him. I've actually sparred with him before when we were 15, 16 years old. So I shared the ring with him already before. It was a good work. But I feel like my boxing skills are what's going to take the difference in this fight and give me the victory.
You're a guy, especially the last maybe 5-6 fights. You got some good W's on your record. Manzanares is 36-2, Delgado 13-1, Avila 16-3, and then Burgos, who was a multiple time, I believe 3-time world title challenger, Juan Carlos Burgos. So, I mean, is Zepeda seems like the next logical step, a contender, undefeated contender?
Yeah, definitely. He's the next logical step. But like you said, my record shows who I fought. I feel like I fought way tougher opposition than him, and I fought some tough guys already. So, I think that's also going to be a difference in this fight.
You mentioned that you've been off for a little bit. Obviously, you had a fight, I believe it was on the Ring City platform against Alberto Machado. That I guess an injury. I know you've been mentioned for a few fights. You were on a short list, I know, to fight Ryan Garcia at that point. Talk about the layoff, and kind of like the roller coaster. You think you're fighting. I believe I believe you got hurt at the injury for the Machado fight, and then you're being sought after, being mentioned for some other fights. It's kind of like a roller coaster the last year or so.
No, yeah, definitely. It's been a roller coaster. I actually had a fight fall through before that. I was supposed to fight Hesta, and that fell through like an hour before the weigh-in.
Yeah.
I came back, was supposed to fight Machado. I got COVID actually, and that was why I had to pull out. But like you said, it's been a roller coaster, but it just prepared me mentally. I knew I had to stay ready for whenever I got the next call. Thank God it came, and it's already here next Friday.
Obviously, there's some lightweight action on the main event between Jojo Diaz moving up in weight, taking on Fortuna. Obviously, under the Golden Boy stable, the big prize in the Golden Boy stable is Ryan Garcia. Is that kind of like I know I know you're looking one fight at a time, but maybe short-term goals, win this fight, maybe get that Garcia fight and everything that comes along with it, with the publicity and the money and everything like that. Is that kind of like the short-term goals? Again, not looking past Zepeda. You got a tough undefeated guy in front of you next Friday night.
Not necessarily him. After this fight, I think it opens a lot of doors for me. Anyone in this weight class that's in the top division, I'm willing to fight and willing to face. So I think, like I said, this fight will open a lot of doors for me, and whatever comes my way, I'm willing to do.
You feel you're in a good spot, obviously. Lightweight, especially at the top, is it's like I guess murderer's row between Ryan and Teofimo and Gervonta and Devin, and obviously a win, especially. You take your last 4 or 5 fights, you put next week on top of it. I mean, you're in an era where you see guys kind of maneuvering their way past tough fights. They get ranked, they get in eliminators, and bang, they're in a title shot. I mean, especially if you win next week, you would have earned whatever ranking, a high ranking that you will probably get.
No, exactly like you said. My last couple fights have shown it. I've never said no to a fight that Golden Boy has offered me. So, anything that comes my way after this fight, I feel like I've earned, and I feel like I'm ready for at this stage in my career.
So, you put on an impressive performance next Friday night against Zepeda. If you get the call, whether it's a Lomachenko or a Tiafimo or any of those names that we just mentioned, yeah, you believe you're ready for those opportunities.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. That's what I've been working for my whole career, and I won't say no to no one. I never have. So yeah, I think I'm ready for any of those big fights in this division.
Tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of how you got started, when you started boxing, amateur career. I know, like I said, you've been moving your way up the cards with each fight, and like we just said, fighting very good opposition. To tell us a little bit about yourself now that you're going to be in a little bit higher spot on the card. Did we lose you? Did we lose him? I don't know if Hector can hear us. Let me see. Let's see here. Did we lose you? We got to. So we'll send him a message. If Hector Tanajara, everything seems all right on our end. I believe he's going to try to type back. Let me see if he hits something or above the live TV. Oh, we got a call. Okay, so let's see if you can log out and log back in. Let's just see. That might work because on with Hector, can you hear us? We'll get him back on.
Can you hear me?
Get him. Yeah, now we hear you.
Okay.
Now we hear you. Who's messing up our interview? Who's calling you to mess up this interview?
Another reporter from San Antonio, actually.
The heck with him. You probably talked to him a million times. So actually, that's a good segue. San Antonio, a lot of good fighters coming out of San Antonio these days. Talk about that being in that stable. I know your manager Rick Morigian. He's got Joshua Franco, who's a world champion. To talk about that coming up with that stable of guys.
No, I feel like San Antonio has always had great fighters. This era that we're in is showing it. And I grew up with a lot of those guys, Joshua Franco, Bam Rodriguez, Mario Barrios, who fought last week. So just growing up in San Antonio and boxing, I think is a big boxing city.
When you see, and you mentioned Barrios, when you see a guy you probably have known since you were little kids, be in a fight, a big pay-per-view fight, the whole world's talking about it. How much does that motivate and inspire you?
Oh, tremendously. That's something we envisioned since we started boxing, watching 24/7s or anything of big boxers at the time. So it was very motivating to see all that, to see it fall into place. I've seen him train since a kid. We grew up together. So yeah, it's really motivating, and I know other fighters like myself and Joshua Franco and Bam and other fighters from San Antonio will get there as well.
How important is it for you to put on a very impressive performance against this 22-0 fighter, William Zepeda, next Friday night? That will, have people, and obviously, if you look at the schedule, not much boxing next week. You guys, you're the great show that Golden Boy's putting on next Friday night. You guys are the big show of the weekend. You want people talking about you on Sunday, Monday morning?
Yeah, definitely. I want to steal the show. I feel like a great performance in this fight will put me in a great position and open a lot of doors for me.
Before we were rudely interrupted by your other phone call, I was asking the question. Tell us a little bit about yourself. When you got started and tell your amateur career and accolades.
I got started. My dad used to watch boxing. He used to box in the day, and I remember watching Oscar De La Hoya versus Fernando Vargas, and I think after that fight is when I really wanted to start boxing. When I was old enough, I told him, take me to the gym, and that's how it all started. I had 135 amateur fights, 10 losses. Um, I guess pretty good amateur career. I traveled with Team USA to a few countries. So, just grew up, I guess, watching it and fell in love with the sport.
When you I guess you mentioned Oscar. Did you tell the boss that fight was your inspiration to get into the boxing?
I didn't tell him, but I've mentioned it before in interviews and stuff like that.
And I imagine he has got big things planned for you with a win on next Friday night. Before we let you go, last two questions I always ask: what do you want to say to the fans out there before we see you next Friday night live on DAZN, taking on William Zepeda in a battle of undefeated lightweights?
I appreciate the support. I appreciate them for tuning in. And tune in next Friday on DAZN. Don't miss a great fight.
And if we want to follow you on social media, how do we get in touch with you? Where do we see you?
Instagram and Twitter at Hector_Tanajara.
Like it, nice and easy. Very nice and easy. Well, Hector, we thank you for a few minutes of your time. We can't wait to see this fight. Can't wait to see this card. We talked to Sullivan Barrera earlier in the day. We'll talk to a few more fighters hopefully next week. Hector, we wish you best of luck. We'll be watching, and we'll talk to you along the way.
Okay, man. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much. But speaking of Phil, you ever been here for amateur stuff or?
No, I never been there, but I know a lot of great fighters from there, and I like food, so I want to try a Philly cheesesteak.
I live right behind one of the biggest cheesesteak places. You come to Philly, it's my treat. Okay.
Okay. I'll hold you to
that. No, but believe me, anytime any of the boxing people come to Philly, I always, because people take care of me when I'm on the road, so I have to show them their brotherly love, hospitality. So Hector, you come to Philly, I'll just put it on Bernard's tab. So all
right, cool.
Another Philly guy. Bernard is my man. Good luck. We'll see you next Friday night. Thank you very much.
See you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Hector Tanajara Jr., a tremendous fighter who next Friday night takes on William Zepeda, which will be a great fight on DAZN. Real quickly, if anyone wants to follow me on Twitter at @AbramsBoxing, YouTube, just follow. It's Abrams Boxing. We're going to change that. Mark.Abrams2 on Facebook, at Mark Abrams Boxing on Instagram, abramsboxing.com to see some of these interviews and some of the PR stuff I got going on. And the best boxing website in the world, all the news. You can watch all kinds of fights on there. We'll have a few shows up on there tonight. So 15rounds.com is the best boxing website in the world. Anyone who's watching, you get all the up to the minute news, interviews. You'll be able to see this there. You'll be able to see this on my YouTube. In fact, this interview will go on 24 different platforms. I'm going to list them all probably next week. So I want to thank everyone for their time, and we will talk to you next week. We're going to get back into it. This week was a little slow. We're going to get back into it with a ton of interviews with a lot of great fighters. Thank you, and have a good night. And if I'm not on this weekend, have a tremendous, if you're in the United States, Independence Day week.